All right, this one, demand is this. P and Q represent price and quantity. They want to know what price is revenue
Maximum.
a maximum. Okay, notice
So
the
that's
word
derivative again.
revenue. Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
so how do I get revenue?
So revenue is price times quantity times price. Yeah.
Yes, good. So P here is 120 minus 3Q, close brackets, times Q.
Yep.
All right, so you've got revenue, which is 120Q, okay, minus Q squared. Do you
Yep.
agree?
Yep.
Okay, they want you to know, they want you to tell them what's the maximum. So then
Yep.
derivative of the revenue function is going to be what? 120 minus
120
6Q.
minus 6Q. Yes.
Okay, when you find the min or the max, you make that equal to 0. Then if you solve, that should be 20.
So option 1.
Is that right? Minus 6 divided by 6. Yeah, that's right. Option 1. Right, see, that was a much easier question. I would have done 6 first. I would have left 5 to the end. Okay, if we're just talking about level of difficulty. Okay. Right, try apply the exam technique if you can. It does help because remember the objective is always to pass first, then get your distinction. You don't want to spend 10, 20, 30 minutes even trying to wrap your head around a question like this when you could have done 4 or 5 other questions. Does that make sense? That's
Yep.
why I'm trying to give exam technique just as a little note.
How long do you think is the max I should take on a question? Not more
Okay,
than 5
so
minutes, and then maybe move on.
2 hours, 120 minutes divided by 30 questions, 4 minutes a question. So if you spend longer than 4 minutes, you should move on.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 minutes a question should be kind of where you are. I mean, that didn't take us 4 minutes. That took us maybe 2.
Yeah. No. 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got more time for other stuff. That's why it's important to do. I mean, this question 5 took us, I think, maybe 5 minutes or 6 minutes.
Yep. Yep.
All right, and then obviously you're losing out on some time there. So get to the easy ones first, go back and look at the more difficult. If that's how they're structuring the multiple choice. I know if it's online, sometimes depending on what system they're using, sometimes you have to do 5 before you can go on to 6 because it's online. But sometimes the online allows you to look at all the questions and then complete all of them and then just submit your responses. It all depends on how Unisa's approaching it and what system they're
Yeah.
using.
Yeah. I think they do allow that you can go through all of them and go back to
Perfect.
previous ones.
Then that
Yep.
then that definitely helps, and then I would definitely jump around. As long as I complete all 30, hopefully that's ideal. Okay. All right.
Okay.
7, obviously demand and supply. So you would expect equilibrium, and that's what you've got
Equilibrium.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. So they
And
want you to
set them
find
to each
equilibrium.
other.
So 400 minus 5Q equals 3Q plus 24. Is that correct? Double check. Yes.
Yeah. There's a
Okay.
funny symbol there behind that Q. Or
The little symbol is for the supply. So when they say PS,
oh.
it's the
Okay.
notation. PS is for price supplied.
Oh,
QS is for
the
the quantity
quantity
supplied.
demanded as well.
PD
Okay.
is
I
for
see.
the price demanded, and QD is for the quantity demanded. The D is just representing what formula you're looking at, supply or
Okay.
demand.
Yep.
Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. Solve here. So take the 24 to that side, becomes minus. 400 minus 24 is that. Okay. 5 goes to the right, becomes a plus. Okay. Solve. This divided by 8 gives you 47. Okay, so Q is 47 and P equals, it doesn't matter which one you take. I'm just going to take the first one. Copy paste. Okay, if I want to know what P is, I need to plug in Q. Q is 47. Right, when I plug in 47, I get a price of 165. P is 165, Q is 47, option 1.
Now that you're actually doing this, another question I wanted to ask you, do you think it's actually better to do the exam on paper, or do you think it's better to do it in Excel?
Depends on you, actually. I just use Excel because it's easier for me to calculate and it saves time. So I don't have to sit with the calculator and type
Yeah, yeah,
every amount in. So that's my only reason for doing it this way. It's to save
yeah,
time and to show students how to work it out, and obviously to keep track of the workings as well, so I can send this to you. If this was an exam, I would literally just do this on the actual paper. I would just
yeah,
write. I
yeah,
would write because for me, writing is obviously quicker. So if it was a print, I mean, I would print this out and I would just do it on the paper, on paper or rough paper. To me, that'll be quicker. You can do
okay,
it this way. It's really up to you. As long as you're comfortable doing it whichever way.
okay,
Yeah, but just don't waste too much time with this, because I'm sure you're probably very good with Excel as well, because you're in
yeah, yeah,
IT, and you probably deal with coding. And I'm sure you could probably build models and all those fancy things for like programs and software and stuff like that. But
yeah, yep,
it's not really necessary. Remember, Unisa's not going to look at any of this. They're just going to check that. Which option
yeah,
did you choose? Was it correct or not? This, whether it's written or digital or worked out in any other way, they're not going to look at that because it's multiple choice. Yeah, so just find the best, let's say, approach that works for you.
okay,
Okay. Question 8, again, equilibrium. Do you agree?
yeah,
All right, you've got demand and supply, obviously, making those two equal again. Same thing as before. All right, so the one P equals the other P. So minus Q squared. Okay, minus 4Q plus 68. Just double check. Yeah, it looks right. Okay,
yeah,
and then
yep,
equals Q squared minus 2Q plus 2. All right, and then obviously solve for Q. So I'm going to take everything to the right. I'll have 0 equal to, let me just copy this bit and I'll just update it. Okay, if I take this to the right, it becomes plus, so I'll have 2Q squared. Okay, I've got minus 2Q. If I take the minus 4, it becomes plus. I'll have plus 4 minus 2, which is plus 2. And then I've got plus 68. If it goes that side, it becomes minus 68. So minus 68 plus 2 is minus 66. All right, can I simplify that? Yes, I can take out a 2. So if I divide everything by a 2, that 2 disappears, and that becomes 33.
33, yeah.
Okay, can I factorize this? Ooh, doesn't look like it. Let's see, 33. Numbers are going to 33. 3 and 33. Yeah, you're going to have to use quadratic. So ax plus bx plus c, the quadratic formula.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I'm going to need a picture of it. Let me just, actually, it might even be in here. What page is this? Page 4. Okay, we'll go back to page 4. Oh, okay, no formula sheet in this set, in this one, yeah. Okay, right, sometimes they give you a formula sheet, not for this one. Okay, so I'm gonna just Google it quick and then just show you the quadratic formula. Quadratic. It's in the notes, but obviously I just want to paste it here so you've got it. Okay, there we go. Where's my? Okay, let's
Okay,
copy.
so it's, yeah, I've got it here. I think it's that minus b plus minus, and then square root b squared minus 4ac. Yeah,
100%. Yes, that's right.
yes.
Okay, and then you literally do two workings here. Okay, so let's do the first one. Okay, what would the b be? The b will be 1 minus plus 1, so minus 1. Okay, let's do the plus first. Okay, equals plus, and then I'm going to have to square root Okay, b squared minus 4ac. What is the b? The b is 1. 1 squared is 1. Minus 4ac. Minus 4. A is 1. C is 1. So minus 4. Okay, so minus 4.
Plus.
Then you can't actually work that out because you can't have a negative square root. There's a problem here.
Doesn't it become plus because it was minus 4?
4ac. I forgot to multiply by the c. The c is 33. Minus 33.
Okay.
So it's negative. Okay. 4 brackets. A is 1. C is minus 33. Okay. Then all over 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay, this I'm going to have to do separate. So obviously I'm going to do square root separately. So square roots. Okay, square roots. This I would just type into my calculator. Just use the scientific mode.
Yep.
If you've got the scientific calculator, maybe just type those amounts in and see if you get the same answer. I'm just doing it this way, and then we should get the same answer at the end. Okay, so type that out nicely on a scientific calculator while I do this. Okay, so square root b squared is 1 minus 4. So minus brackets 4 times a times minus 33. Close brackets, enter. Okay, I get that. All right, so that means for my 1x, I'm going to have x equal to minus 1 plus that answer, 11.53256 dot dot dot. Okay, all over 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so let's work that out on the calculator. See, like for example, this is taking me longer because of Excel, but it would have been much quicker just to type it into the calculator. All right, there's the one answer. Okay, the other answer would be with a minus, not a plus. Okay, so let's make this a minus. Okay, so can x, well, x in this case would be q. Can q be negative?
No.
Correct. Okay, you can't sell a fraction of a product, so you must sell the 5th product. Okay, it could actually be the 6th product as well. Okay, but remember they said it must be rounded to an integer. So you round it to an integer, you would have to round it down, so 5. So if q is 5, therefore p equals, and with p you can choose whichever one. I'm just going to use the one that's positive, this one. Okay, so I'm going to plug in 5 into that formula. Okay, so let's work it out. 5 squared is 25 minus 2 times 5 is 10, so minus 10. Plus 2 gives you 17. Okay, so I had 5 and 17. Not an option. Okay, so that means they're probably rounding up. Okay, so this answer, okay, round up. Okay, 6 times 6 is 36. Then we've got minus 2 times 6 is minus 12. Plus 2. Okay, 26. Also not there. Okay, so for this one, oh, actually it is there. No, that's 29.
Yeah, 29.
Not 26. I'm looking at that one and that one, yeah. Okay, so for this one, whether you round up or you round down, you either get Q, well, P I should say. You get P as 17 and 5, or you get Q as 6 and P as 26. All right, so in this case, then I would have to choose option 5. Okay. Does
Okay.
it make sense?
Yeah, yes.
Right, I mean, I can double check it just to make sure that I haven't made a mistake with the equilibrium. Let's just check. Q squared minus 4Q plus 68. If it goes to that side, that becomes a plus, so 2Q squared, yes. That becomes a plus, so plus 4 minus 2 is plus 2, yes. And then plus 68 goes to that side, becomes minus, so minus 68 plus 2 is minus 66. Yeah, it's perfect. It's right. Okay, nothing wrong with the working.
Okay.
Okay, thoughts here?
Okay, so demand function P and Q determine the, so they want price elasticity of the
Correct.
demand if
Okay.
P is 10.
Yeah, PD equals P over bracket P minus A. Okay, so P is 10. A is the
That's the formula
constant.
you sent me on WhatsApp, eh?
Yes, I think I did. Or I think
Yeah,
I took
yes,
a picture of it and I
yeah,
put it onto Excel. Yeah, that came from the
yes,
textbook. That was for the linear one. That was
yeah,
the short version
yes,
of it. Because when we had done the other one using the longer version, it didn't get an option that was there. Right, so that's why I'm
yes,
using it
yeah.
here because I've seen that in the past. Okay, minus 0.2, option 4.
Looks like those ones are quick ones.
Oh, well, yes, if you know the formulas. If you don't,
Yeah.
it can be quite challenging.
And I think so far there's been one of those questions in each of the exam papers.
Yes, okay, they kind of like testing certain types of questions, correct? It's good if you're spotting that. That tells
Yeah,
me that you're going through quite a few past papers. Okay,
yeah,
perfect. All right, when you have quadratic, then we need to use something else. Okay, I think this was the area under the curve, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
Right, so PD, or yeah, demand elasticity, or ED. Is demand elastic or inelastic? You're gonna have to work it out. You're gonna have to work out the point price elasticity of demand. Okay, when you have a quadratic function. All right, for this one, I'm gonna go back to the notes. I remember seeing it in your notes. It was quite well presented as well. So let's just go back to this. And this is point elasticity of demand,
I think it was
page
page
14,
110 if I,
page 10.
no, wasn't it 110? It's
110. Is it
non-linear,
not
eh?
110?
Uh,
Possibly.
scroll down a bit.
Oh, this is still 103.
Yeah,
There, 108. Here.
yeah.
Yes, there we go.
I think the next page, yeah,
Okay.
yes.
No. This is surplus, consumer surplus. This is something different. This is not price elasticity of
Okay,
demand.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah, this is consumer surplus. This is something different. That was the area under
Yeah,
the
yes,
graph.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so for this one, I need that. Point price elasticity of demand.
But I think that example is going to be of a straight line or linear.
It mustn't be a straight line because here it's a non-linear graph. Okay,
So I
so
think
this
if you
was
go,
for linear.
yeah, linear.
We
If you
need
go back to the
non-linear.
index, yeah, you're going to have to look for non-linear.
Oh, okay, I see. They don't give it to you here.
Yeah, the first half of the book is basically all linear, and then they go over to non-linear, and then they cover the same
Okay,
theory,
yes,
but yes.
you're right. I see that there,
Um,
but let's just see. We're looking for demand. Here,
Wait, is
non-linear, page
6.389.
89.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Page 89, there we go. That's what we want. Okay, so let's have a look. Point elasticity of demand for linear functions, given as that. Where's the non-linear one? here. Non-linear. So you'd have to use this equation. There, for non-linear demand functions. There we go. Okay, so the elasticity of demand is dq over dp. So we've got the p. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so dp derivative of p divided by dq. Okay, then we can just swap it around. Okay, that derivative would be minus 2q minus 7. Do you agree?
Yep.
Okay, if I invert this around, then I make it dq over dp. So dq over dp would equal 1 over, open brackets, minus 2q minus 7. Okay, so I've got the dq over dp. Alright, multiply that by p over q. What is my p here? P is 51. Okay, divided by what is my q here? That I need to work out. Okay, so p is 51. 51 equals minus q squared minus 7q minus 8. Okay, take everything to one side to make it positive. So let's take everything to the left. Q squared plus 7q. This becomes a plus, so 59. Okay, so what is q going to be? Can I factorize that? 59. I don't think so. I don't think 59 has factors.
Yeah, I also don't think so.
I think 59 is a prime number, but anyway, then we're going to have to use your quadratic function again, looks like. Let's just double check. You've got the derivative, you've inversed it, yeah, that's fine. What is the demand, elastic or inelastic at this point? Okay, so they tell you P is 51. Is there another formula that doesn't have Q? Maybe this one here. Okay, there's the inverting. Let's see. Doesn't look like there's another equation. Looks like that is the only one. Alright, so you'd have to use it. You'd have to work out the Q. Okay, oh well. Just have to do it long way. Okay, quadratic again. Okay, square root, b squared. What is my b here? B is 7. So 7 squared or minus 7 squared is 49. Okay, minus brackets 4 times a, which is What is A here?
1.
A would be 1, yeah.
Or is it -1?
No, it would be
Sorry.
1 because you're looking
Oh,
at
sorry,
that
1. Yeah, I
formula.
was looking at the top one. Yeah, you're right. It's just 1.
Yeah, so you've got the minus B, which is -7. Okay, you've got the um, A, which is 1. And you've got the C, which is 59.
Yeah.
Ooh, why doesn't it want to work that out? Oh, because of the negative. 4 times A times C gives you an answer that you can't solve for. Because 49 minus a negative number, you can't square root a negative number. So, let's see, -7. Yeah, it's minus B. 7 is B, yeah. And then you've got, take the 8 across, becomes plus. 51 plus 8 is 59. It is right. And then you're obviously going to square root B squared, which is 7 squared, minus 4AC. Yeah, it works out. Okay, so for this one, doesn't look like you can use the square root because you're going to get an irrational answer. So go back to the formula sheet and look for something different. Okay, that one's got P and Q. The Q is the problem. Maybe let's try this one. Oh, but see, you still have Q. Let's see if there's anything else that we can maybe use. Okay, we looked at the derivative. That's fine. Did I use the derivative though? Let's see. ED, yes, that's that. No, I haven't worked out the derivative. So if I'm looking at the... No, I think I did work it out. Yeah, I did. It's just further up. Sorry, I'm thinking... I'm sure I did that, but yeah. Alright, there's it there.
Yeah, yes.
So if I'm looking at the ED, I've got that times 51 over Q. Yeah, the problem is the Q. There must be a working error here somewhere. Let's go back through it again. Alright, so we said P equals 51. 51 equals minus Q squared minus 7Q plus, not plus, minus 8. Okay, so take everything to that side. Becomes plus 8, so that's 59. Take everything to that side, becomes plus 7, that's fine. Take that to the other side, it's plus Q squared, that's also fine. Can't we factorize that? Doesn't look like it, hey? Because you've got B squared. B squared here was 7. 7 squared is 49. Minus 4AC. The problem is here, the 4AC gives you a negative, and you can't square root a negative number. So let's see. If it's B squared, minus 4, yeah, that's right. A is the number in front of that squared, got that. And then the C is the 59. Yeah, you're going to have a negative number. Alright, so to me, there needs to be another equation to use here. Was that all they gave you here? Yeah, that was it. Changing Q over changing P, that's all. Okay, yes?
If you scroll down, do they not maybe have other examples?
Yeah, see there. dq over dp, p times q.
Yeah. And
Nope, that's it. Let's see if the textbook gives us more. The textbook should be better because the textbook will give you a few other examples. Okay, so I'm looking for
Okay.
non-linear demand functions. Okay, non-linear demand and supply functions, page 159. Okay, let's look for another formula. Okay, non-linear. Okay, they show you the same equation, same as the study guide, so that's fine. Let's see if there's more equations here. Okay, I've got a cubic function. Do I have a cubic? No, I don't. This is a quadratic. It might be because this could be none of the above then. Because if we can't factorize, that means there is no roots. Yeah, then I've got hyperbolic, cost function applications. Nope, that looks like it. Is this chapter? Yeah, this is chapter 4. At the back of the chapter, there's normally a formula sheet, but for this one, no, they haven't provided it in this one. Okay, yeah. So for this one, you can't actually work it out because you can't get Q. That's the problem. dq over dp I can get, times p over q I can get the p. I've got the p. I just have a problem with the q. That's the problem. I've got my dq. The only other thing I can think of is you've got this. See, you need a q though. That's the problem. So you need a q. They only gave you a p. Right, if you plug in the 51, you should be able to calculate an answer that doesn't give you a error. Okay, you can't square root a negative number. If you try that on your calculator, you'll see even the calculator gets confused. Okay, an error will pop up.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so for this particular question, we actually had one similar last week, if I remember correctly. Let me just quickly go to that one. This was May, June 2019. I remember we spoke about a quadratic there as well, hey?
Yes, yeah, I also remember.
Let's see what we had there. Was there a special formula we did we use here? Let's see. Yeah, there's the second derivative. There. Okay, that was for non-linear. That was for linear.
Yeah,
For
linear.
linear. Okay, looks like it's only the linear that they give you. This is the first time that the non-linear came up, but you would have been able to work it out had you been able to square root the number, but you can't square root the number. That's the problem. Right, so for this one, I would choose option 5.
Okay.
Okay, none of the above, because you can't square root a negative number, so you can't actually get the quantity that's going to be supplied. Right, because maybe the quantity is negative because of the negative number. There's a very specific notation that deals with negative numbers, negative integers, and that sort of thing. Okay, they refer to them as being I. Okay, but not something that you're going to be focusing on here.